Bright line eating told me not to trust myself, and it was totally, totally wrong. You can be trusted, and I don't want anyone to tell you otherwise. Look into actual research about these things. There are hundreds, if not thousands, I'm not sure, but I know it's at least in the hundreds, of peer-reviewed studies about eating intuitively and the benefits for health. There are not peer-reviewed studies about bright line eating. Hello, my name is Katie. I am a former bright line eater for like 2+ years, and I am now an intuitive eater, and I want to talk a little bit today about how bright line eating caused me to not have trust in my body or my mind, and how intuitive eating has really helped me overcome that. So one of the biggest premises of bright line eating is that you are not to be trusted. Your body is so messed up on the inside from binging or overeating or whatever. It's so messed up on the inside that there's no way you can trust yourself to do these things. Like, you will sabotage yourself every single time if you give yourself freedom, which is the whole thing of bright line eating. The bright lines are, you're not supposed to cross them. That's the whole thing, is that they're bright lines drawn in the sand that you do not cross. And if you cross them, then all hope is going to be lost because you crossed a line, and there's not going to be an easy way to go back after that because your body will sabotage you. So it's not uncommon in bright line eating for people to be very, very, very exact in their following of the plan, and it's called crystal vasing. If you go back a couple videos, more like 30 videos or something, you'll see that I attempted crystal vasing, which is perfection, and I did very well on crystal vasing for a while until it ended in a binge and subsequent binges, and it brought me to 50 pounds heavier, and where I am today, and where I am able to realize that I can trust my body, and I've been stabilized now. I'm not gaining, I'm not losing. I am actually stable and listening to my body and becoming happy with where I'm at. So learning to accept me as I am, and dwelling therein in this imperfect body. But good news, I showered, so that's exciting. Anyway, so bright line eating, like I said, just tells you not to trust yourself. That's the science that they talk about in the book of bright line eating, and it's the science that I really, really bought into when I first read the book. I was sold because my experience was, I diet, I overeat, I diet, I overeat. I couldn't stick to anything, and bright line eating tells you that the reason that is because you're addicted to food. You're addicted to sugar, you're addicted to flour, and these things are causing you to spiral out of control, and you can't stop overeating them. And it's not your fault because it's your body's fault, and your body cannot be trusted. And so you need to use these bright lines, these external, guidelines to make yourself acceptable and become thinner and lose weight and be comfortable in your own body. It tells you all these things of like, these bright lines are what's going to get you to a happier place. And all of the before and afters that you see are like very motivating. You see people that have lost 300 pounds using bright line eating and are really doing this for life. My pictures were part of those. Like, I posted them on the bright line eating Facebook groups and things, and got hundreds and thousands of likes and people commenting, wow, you're inspirational. But what they don't show you is the aftermath of after you decide bright line eating is harmful to you, and then you end up in a much more broken place than you were before. And I don't know, like, I currently am at the same weight that I was when I graduated college. And when I graduated college, I feel like I was at an all-time emotional low. And I started dieting and eating clean and working out a lot, and I was able to lose 20 or 30 pounds. Then I got married, and my husband literally has never known me not dieting and trying to be healthier and different things. And so this is actually a very new thing for him. And not going to lie, he's concerned that I'm not being healthy by like the normal standard of health, which I am doing it differently than I have before. So I don't blame him for thinking that. I also have thought that way my entire life. And like, it's just interesting that it is seen by so many people as being better to be mentally unwell and in this diet binge cycle. And not saying that everyone binges, but like a diet overeat, weight bouncing cycle, basically, where you go down and up and down and up. Basically describes like everyone who's ever tried to lose weight. It goes up and down and up and down. But the point of this video, sorry, I am now rambling. The point of this video is that Bright Line Eating told me that my body could not be trusted. And here I am, 6 or 7 weeks into Bright Line Eating, 6 or 7 weeks into intuitively eating, and my trust in myself, while it has some like bumps where I have like moments where I'm like, why am I trusting myself? I'm eating like bad food, right? I have to remind myself that there's not good and bad food. There's obviously foods that are more nutritious in one direction or another, but like our bodies are made to handle a variety of foods, and physically I can handle all those different foods. My body can handle it as long as it's not in like major excess, which is what was happening when I was eating everything in sight because it had been off limits to me. So 6 or 7 weeks, sorry, my camera is really shaky because I'm holding it with my arm. Why do I not use a tripod? I don't know. But yes, I have been at the same size for 6 or 7 weeks, which over the last year since I've quit Bright Line Eating, I'd been going up and up and up and up because I still had that mentality of like my body couldn't be trusted. In previous videos, you'll hear me say, like, the reason I'm doing calorie counting is because I know that my body, like, I just can't tell when I've had too much. Sorry, my arm is just so dead. I'm gonna hold it with this arm. That's not gonna work very well. But I like say in previous videos, even after I quit Bright Line Eating, that I still didn't have trust in myself at all. Like, I needed some metric to tell me how many calories to have or how many grams of protein to have, how much water to drink. Like, I was using all these external metrics to tell me what my body actually needed instead of listening and paying attention to my body. Now, Bright Line Eating tells you in much detail of why exactly you can't just listen to your body, because your body is going to lie to you based on things, blocking things. And sorry, that was very like not specific. I can't remember all the technical details. Leptin is blocked by insulin or something like that, which makes it so you can't feel the hunger hormone as well, or whatever, the satiety hormone. I don't remember, but it teaches you that basically when you're fat, when you're insulin resistant, which if you're fat, then you are generally, then you won't be able to tell if you're hungry or full, and so you don't listen to your body because it's lying to you. But what I have discovered with intuitive eating is that my interoceptive awareness, which is something they talk about in the intuitive eating book, my ability to be able to feel sensations within my body has increased so much. I'm amazed how I can tell like when I've eaten enough food now. Like, I'm amazed every single time. I'm like, wow, I'm feeling this fullness sensation and I only ate part of my meal, but I actually was able to feel it. And even when I'm not hyper focused on it all the time, and yet I'm feeling it and I'm acting on it. I think every time that I act on it, my body is like, yay, you listened to me. And then it knows that next time I'm going to listen as well. So it gives me that signal and I'm able to understand it a little bit better each time and learning to speak the language of my body, which I haven't done in forever. And so I really appreciate the intuitive eating way of doing things, because it's helped me become more in tune with my body. It has been over 6 weeks since I counted a calorie. It has been over 6 weeks since I looked at grams of protein, since I counted how much water ounces I'm drinking in a day, since I've kept track of how many times I exercised in a week or in a month or whatever. And honestly, I'm just working every single day to try and be more in tune with my own body and what my own body needs. And frankly, I'm getting better at listening for the food thing. I'm getting better at eating when I'm hungry. I eat what I want when I'm hungry. I try to stop when I'm full. I'm not great at being super physically active yet. but I'm trying to exercise in ways that bring joy to me, like walking with friends or swimming. When I find that exercise is not enjoyable, you saw my last video about the gym, like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, I'm just not going to do this gym scenario again. I'm not going to. So I will go and I will swim at the gym. I will go when I have a friend that was going to come with me. Otherwise, I'm going to walk around my neighborhood because I enjoy that a lot more. I'm also planning to switch gyms for those that are wondering. I'm going to switch to one that has more people that are similar to me and not, just at the gym for 4 hours a day, because that is intimidating and not like in line with how I want to live or be influenced, And so I'm going to try and not surround myself with that. Anyway, I'm learning to trust myself more. A lot of that is just being aware of thoughts and feelings that I'm having and approaching them with curiosity and growing from them. So anyway, thank you for listening to this TED Talk about how bright line eating told me not to trust myself, and it was totally, totally wrong. So if you are in bright line eating or looking into bright line eating, I highly encourage you to not listen to that garbage because you can be trusted. And I don't want anyone to tell you otherwise. You might need the help of a therapist or an intuitive eating coach or something to help you get through that, because it is like a lot of unpacking. I've been unpacking it for a year and little by little coming to these conclusions myself, to where when I read the intuitive eating book, I was like, yes, this all makes sense to what I've been slowly figuring out over the last year since I quit bright line eating. So if you are currently doing bright line eating or looking into doing bright line eating, as someone who has done it, who has fully bought into it, I highly recommend not. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, also something I wanted to mention, I know this is at the very end, so like 2% of people are going to see this, but look into actual research about these things. There are hundreds, if not thousands, I'm not sure, but I know it's at least in the hundreds, of peer-reviewed studies about eating intuitively and the benefits for health. There are not peer-reviewed studies about bright line eating in peer-reviewed studies and long-term lasting health benefits. So, and health is not just physical health, it's talking about other things as well. But seriously, look into the research about it. There are hundreds of studies about intuitive eating and the health benefits that people who eat intuitively have over people who have a diet approach to losing weight or to eating healthily. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. And I'm sticking to it. Thanks so much for watching this. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button down below and comment to let me know that you're here. I love to hear from you guys, and I really appreciate your comments on every video. I try to respond to as many as I can. I'm a busy mom of 2, and sometimes that gets me a little distracted, but I love communicating with you guys on here. So I will see you in my next video.